All right, hey everybody, welcome back. We got another news feed here for you. This one kicking it off, Subaru won't accept anything less than zero. We're not going to be on here for long, but Subaru is changing. They got a new eyesight system coming that is AI powered in 2027. It will incorporate AI and it will be part of the Crosstrek, Forester, and Outback, and all their other new all-wheel drive models. It's just part of the game. They're going to basically improve it. They're going to use new semiconductors that harness the power of AI. AI will play a critical role in better capturing and processing images, thereby significantly improving vehicle safety. They're going to go on to here. They say right here, Subaru will only accept zero. Subaru aims to achieve zero fatal accidents by 2030. The Japanese automaker says eyesight needs high-performance sensors and semiconductors to realize the automaker's corporate goal of reducing traffic-related fatalities to zero in 2030. So, we don't know a whole lot more other than it's upgrading. It's going to go to some new pixels or hyper lux image sensor boasting 8.3 pixels compared to 2.3 megapixels. Image sensor that's currently there, and it's going to use AI and enhanced object recognition processing in the system, which integrates stereo camera and AI interface. Combining the sensors with stereo camera and AI enable the next generation eyesight to better capture an image of a pedestrian at night or clearly detect a person far ahead. So they're trying to basically make it where this eyesight system in Subaru is going to be better. This will be coming in a 2027 model, so if you're interested in that or looking for that kind of stuff, that's what's happening there. Next one, the big one here. So here we go. Okay, Japanese Jeep copycat. Okay, that is right. We are talking about the fact that the Toyota that copied Jeep became a global icon. The Land Cruiser. The Land Cruiser would not exist if it was not for Jeep. Okay, it's a very interesting article. We're going to hit the highlights on it, but that is the 100% fact of this whole thing. Without Jeep, and because of Jeep, this vehicle would not exist. The Land Cruiser would not exist. How do we figure that? So let's look at it here. Here we go, okay? Says the Jeep story dates back to World War II. When they used these Jeeps, Jeep won the ended up being what they used in World War II. Said, however, though, most of them never returned home to America. Instead, they were left in the countries they had been airdropped into for military support. Remember, these things were dirt cheap. You could get them for like $100 or something in a box, basically. They're like dirt cheap. They dropped them in. They just left them. Little did Willis Overlanding Motors know that this philosophy would engage in fledgling Japanese automaker to build an unparalleled name for itself. That automaker was Toyota, and the car it used to build its reputation on was the Land Cruiser. But what many won't know is the Land Cruiser was a Willis Jeep copycat that spawned the iconic legacy. When we look into this, here it is. Okay, this is the first original Land Cruiser here. And they originally came out, and Toyota was, the Japanese government was looking to replace this truck, okay, which is what they were using. Okay, the Imperial Japanese Army was using this Kurgan Type 95 for recon work. They also knew it as a Yankee, a Japanese for all-wheel drive. Anyway, they wanted to replace it. Japanese government was looking to replace it, and in 1941 had gone to Toyota to commission a new military vehicle. Sometime around then, during the Japanese occupation of the Philippines, their army managed to capture a Willys MB Jeep, an early predecessor to what's now the modern Wrangler. This would be sent to Toyota with the military essentially requesting a backwards engineering Japanese-built copy, the Land Cruiser. Isn't that interesting? I thought that was pretty cool. Pretty neat that happened. We got more to go about, but you can take a look at, you can see it. You can look at these pictures of it. It's pretty cool, and is what it turned into today, unfortunately. But pretty cool, and it says right here, this would see the. So anyway, so they did it. Okay, they made it. They upgraded it. It went farther than the AK was, and then Japanese military, blah blah blah. And then it says here, Jeep would go on to inform what would become the first Land Cruiser when the Korean War kicked off in 1950, and it's the U.S. government sending the new Willys specs to Toyota and commissioning a run of 100 Toyota Jeep BJs, okay? So, like I said, you're part of it. The off-road oriented J70 Land Cruiser we see today is easiest to track back to the original as a Toyota Jeep A name that would have to be dropped in 1954 when Willis finally got around to claiming the trademark violation. But they ran it for 4 years, calling it a Toyota Jeep. That's what they actually called it. It says right here, the J70. They called it a Toyota Jeep. And they did it for 4 years before Willis jumped in and trademarked it and shut it down. The name change would come a year after Toyota Jeep had gone into production for civilian use. Toyota ultimately chose a Land Cruiser name to position the vehicle directly against the Land Rover. But that was just the beginning, and from there, Land Cruiser branched off into multiple directions across several generations. Then we have those now, okay? Toyota essentially came after the 4x4 market in a three-point pincer attack with the rugged J70 and a light-duty Prados. And so that was you had the rugged built J70. This was the workhorse, okay, do it all workhorse. They had the light duty one, the Prados, taking over the deserts of South Africa and the jungles of Brazil, and then they had a station wagon model of it that's serving as a functional, versatile daily driver for families as well as for fleet use. With the 300 currently serving as a police car in New South Wales. So, but pretty interesting when you think about that and you look at it. And then it goes on here to say that Toyota has always made an art of borrowing ideas. It's kind of interesting. So the Land Cruiser isn't the only time this happened. We'll look at that. But I do want to show you these here again, as you can see it right here. Like I said, pretty cool how it compares and what it does. Here's your different models of it. The Prado basically is what we get here. Same thing that we get here, like our Land Cruiser is. And you can see the specs on it. And then you got the 30 series, and then you got the 70 series right here. Love seeing turbo diesel, okay, just perfect. But anyway, so there it is, and now they've also, look at this thing right here. What does that look like? Exactly like. What's it look like? Looks exactly like the Hummer, because it is. It says right here, the Land Cruiser isn't the only time Toyota had taken an idea from a Western automaker and put its own spin on it. Take, for example, the Mega Cruiser, they called it. A Humvee-inspired fleet vehicle built for Japanese self-defense forces. This enormous 4x4 saw 3,000 units produced between 95 2001. Same kind of time frame as we were getting. We were using the Humvees here. Okay, with 133 going to civilians. The full-size four-door Mega Cruiser packed a 4.1-liter turbo diesel, cranked out 153 horsepower, 280 foot-pounds of torque. Remember, our Humvees were very low-powered as well, too, here. But, I mean, that's basically it. I mean, seriously, that is basically the same exact thing, look-wise even, as what our Hummer is, and that's what they made here. But that's also not the only time. We look at it here. This one here says also, or check out the Toyota Celica. This Celica has always been inspired by the Ford Mustang, but a liftback that hit the Japanese market in early 73 was so close to its inspiration, the Mustang, a 69 Mustang Fastback, that it was actually go by the nicknames Japanese Mustang and the Mustang Celica. Okay, the liftback even featured a vertical bar taillights and a clear homage to the Ford pony car. Pretty interesting when you think about that, Toyota copying, American-made vehicles, putting their own twist on it, and how the Jeep actually created the Land Cruiser. Pretty interesting. I thought it was. Put your comments down below. Let me know what you're thinking. Thanks for watching.